Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
It is Tuesday, March 5th. Shrove Tuesday and Cold Tuesday.
Punchki Day.
Is it Punchki Day?
Yes.
That's on Shrove Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, because you're like getting rid of
You're
all the...
eating all of the... those things are like 1,000 calories at least.
Look, there we go back to food.
Right?
Yep.
It's always about food.
It's always about the food. Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to warm up a little bit and take a look at summer camp opportunities at some of our great Lutheran camps across the country. Yesterday, we got to talk with Bob Polanski at Camp Wartburg right here in Waterloo, Illinois. Today, we head to Seymour, Indiana, Lakeview Ministries. David Vanderkar joining us by phone this morning. David, thanks so much for being our guest this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me.
How are things in Seymour, Indiana today?
They are still cold, but the sun is out, so that is nice.
We've talked about Lakeview before here on the Coffee Hour, and excited to get to share about Lakeview again today, and look forward to summer camp as well with the vast array. And every time we talk about Lakeview, Sarah gets excited and wants to come to camp for the summer, so we'll have to figure out how we can get her there for the summer with her bike.
There's really good mountain biking around there.
Yes, there is.
How has camp made a difference? Share with us a story from camp.
Yeah, so we did a survey after the summer camp ended last year, just to get parents' perspectives and everything, and we asked them to, share any thoughts they had, and one of the parents came back, and I'm just going to read this word for word what they shared. So it says, our son has struggled with anxiety and depression. He is an amazing child, but has sometimes gotten lost in his own head, with his own insecurities and with not always fitting in. A few days after camp, he told me that he had opened up to his counselors, talked to them about what scares him, and that they prayed together. At that moment, he told me that he felt Jesus talking to him, and he knew everything was going to be okay. He has learned to focus on Christ. My heart is so full watching him develop his faith. That's a common theme in terms of kids opening up to their counselors, and I think that's something that I've seen in my executive director role. Sometimes when kids open up, sometimes that's really hard, and they reveal some things that are it might be maybe some abuses in their past or different things. It might not be. A lot of times it's not that extreme, but it is something that they're struggling with, and it's just amazing to me to think about how over the course of one short week, these kids can build a deep enough relationship with their counselors that they are comfortable opening up and sharing something with them, and for our counselors to then be able to take that and help them work through it, help them to build that deeper relationship with Christ. So that's something that I just see time after time with summer camp ministry that's so powerful. So
yeah, that is a really incredible thing that a week of camp could be almost life-changing for some of these kids. When do kids get to learn about Jesus or hear God's word during their time at camp?
Yeah, so we look at that as something that is not just a time during Bible study or during a campfire devotion, but that it is really just immersed in the whole camp experience. That everything that they are doing at camp is a way for them to be brought closer to each other, but also brought closer to God, to Christ. And so I like to talk about our activities at camp. We have a lot of wonderful, fun activities for the kids to do while they're here at camp. We've got the zip lines, the horseback riding, the canoes. We got a water trampoline. We have last year we had a big blob, one of the water blobs over at Lakeview Villages. So all these different things that are very entertaining and fun for the kids to do, but we don't have those things there just for the fun of them. We really have them there to provide the backdrop for those relationships to be built, for that interaction to happen between the kids, between the campers themselves and between the campers and their counselors, and ultimately for us to look at each of those experiences as a way to relate what is happening in our day-to-day lives to how we can be better Christians in terms of living our lives for God, and how to just develop those relationships. So.
Yeah. What kind of opportunities are available for kids and families this summer that they can start preparing for now?
Yeah, so we already opened registration for summer camp at Lakeview. We opened that on February 1st at 9 o'clock in the morning is when our registration goes live. This year it was pretty remarkable. It was our largest year ever for our opening day. Like I said, we opened at 9 o'clock, and by 9:50 we had over 1,000 kids registered.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
That's awesome.
It was a busy morning in the office. By the end of the day, we had over 1,550 kids registered. And so it is amazing, to think that just what God is doing through this ministry. So in terms of what is still available, if you go out to our website, our website is lakeviewministries.camp. That's .camp. And you can find all the information there on all of our different programs. If you go to the Summer Camp tab, there's a Camp Lakeview tab, which Camp Lakeview serves our younger kids. So it's kindergarten up through 6th grade. And then at Lakeview Villages, we serve 6th grade up through 12th grade. And then we run family programs as well. But there's a tab there that you can click that says what camps have openings. And that will give you an idea of what weeks we still have spots in. A handful of our weeks are already filled, and a lot of them are getting close to being full, but we still have spots available for all age groups and for boys and girls. So there's even with that rush at the beginning, we still have openings. So,
what ages attend camp at Lakeview?
Yeah, so at Camp Lakeview, it's kindergarten through 6th grade, and then at the Villages, it's 6th through 12th grade. So we break it up. We have those two different camp sites, and we break it up in grade levels that way so that we can really focus the program on, on those grade levels. So,
and any opportunities for the whole family this summer at Lakeview?
Yeah, we do. We've got our first one that's coming up is a family work weekend, and that is actually over Mother's Day weekend. And that is an opportunity where people can come out to camp and serve camp in terms of getting it ready for the summer. The neat thing about that weekend is that it's completely free. We don't charge anything for that weekend. So if families are in financial need or anything, but want to still have that experience, they can come out and participate there. It's also a great way for families to come out to camp and maybe introduce their kids to camp for the first time if they've never been out there before they come out for the summer. So, and then we also run some. We call them our Family Fun Fests, and those happen at the end of the summer. And they are weekends where, again, the whole family can come out. There's no age restrictions on that, and we program that whole weekend with all the different activities and food provided and all of that. So those are the two kind of family camp opportunities we have. One of the things that we are looking at in the future of Lakeview is we did acquire a new facility a couple of years ago called Camp Cedarbrook, which is down outside of Louisville, Kentucky. It's still in Indiana, but it's only about 20 minutes from Louisville. And that facility, we are putting a plan in place to develop it into really a focused family and adult ministry center. So all of the facilities and everything will be designed with families in mind, and we are looking at expanding our offerings to families through that facility. So that's something that over the course of the next couple of years we hope to really be able to build that out, and we know that God is leading that development there. So
LakeviewMinistries.camp is the place to find out more information about summer opportunities at Lakeview, at Camp Lakeview and Lakeview Villages. So check it out, LakeviewMinistries.camp. David Vanderkar, Executive Director of Lakeview Ministries, thanks so much for being our guest today.
Well, thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
So where are we going to go to for camp this summer? Sarah's all excited.
I'm going to Brown County.
Go ride your bike and do family work weekend there as well. That does it for the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.